Oh yeah, we're live. Lenny's trying to tell me what to do already, and I
Are
do
we
not.
all are we live, or is one of us live?
Lenny, we don't just go one of us live. We're both live. That's how it works. We're both live. Let me figure. Oh, great. Okay, take two already. Just a second. Okay, here we go. Three.
Okay, welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome aboard on a lovely Sunday morning. It is the legend and the Roto Lady. Okay, so we changed it around a little bit. So
Oh,
you,
okay. So that's allowed by Sirius.
yeah.
Doesn't care if
Well,
we use that name.
I'm the legend and you're the Roto Lady. So what are we doing? Okay, there you
So,
go.
okay, hold on a second. I'm going to say hi to the chat room. Okay, we'll say hi to the chat room. Eddie Heckman's here. Leonard Donaldson's here. A couple of guests. I hope Malpal comes soon, and the rest of the crew. I saw Jay Stubbs was on Facebook this morning. So, anyways, I was just listening to our friend Vic DiBattista, the comedian that
Well,
lives in.
hold on a second. We have something. We have a new member of the chat room
Who
that
is
we have
that?
to say hello to. Okay.
Okay,
We have a new member of the chat room that we have to say hello to,
I
and
heard
that
that. Who is it?
I'm trying to remember her first name.
Oh, it's a
Uh,
girl. You're always
yeah,
good at bringing girls around.
yeah, no, yeah, it's a female, and I just her last name is Fensterman. Okay.
Wait a minute, is Finsty here? I would say this to our friends, Dana and Finsty. Dana Finsty.
yeah.
Dana. Okay. I don't even know Finsty's first name anymore, I swear. Are you kidding me? I only know him as Finsty.
Congratulations to Fancy for the birth of their daughter, and
Yay!
that's
What's her
we
name?
give
Mia.
Mia. That's right.
Hi,
I
Mia.
forgot. Mia is here. So already
Yay.
we have another fan. How about that? Thank you, Justin, for adding that. Good morning to Doug Boyle, Eddie Heckman, Jay Stubbs is here, guest Christopher, guest Huey, the news, and we are rocking and rolling and ready to go. And Andy brought up a good point about the Cleveland Indians changing their names to Guardians. Go ahead, and all
Well, it
the other
wasn't me
and
that came up with it. It
well,
was
you brought it up, so let's. It's really great. And tell me what you told me this morning.
okay. So, our this comedian that lives in Brooklyn. He's very funny. He does YouTube videos. He's a live stand-up comedian, but anyway, he has a series called The New York Yankees Locker Room, and I love to listen to it. And he also does one New York Giants Locker Room. But anyway, I just was going there to check to see if he did a video after the Yankees beat the Red Sox last night with 4 runs in the inning. And he didn't do a video on the Yankees locker room, but he did a video on how to change the team names without offending anybody and keeping the names so that the fans still have their team name. Like, so for instance, he started with the Redskins. He said, you can still name the team instead of the Washington football team, which is ridiculous. You could name the Washington Redskins, but just remove the logo of the Indian or the Native American and put in their Redskin potatoes, and you could still be the Redskins. And then he said, with the Chicago Blackhawks, you could just remove the logo of the Native American, and you could be replace it with a Black Hawk, a bird. Like, just you could still be the Blackhawks. You're not offending anybody. And the other one was what's the other teams that are offensive? I can't remember what other team. Oh, the Indians. You could name the Indians. He said you could name the Indians the Himdians. You just put an HIMDIANS and you can come up with that. You don't even have to change the face of the logo. He said you could just remove the feather and add a fez.
That is great. A Redskin potato, and that I'm telling you that. What other team names you think will be changed pretty soon?
Well, why is the Braves not offensive? Why aren't the Atlanta Braves offensive?
I don't know. There's got to be a reason why it's the Indians are offensive and the Braves are not. But I think the Braves
are the Yankees offensive. The Yankees aren't offensive to anybody.
Yankees could be offensive to people who live in the South.
Right? It is it used to be a derogatory reference.
Yep, you
really.
call somebody a Yankee, and that does mean something. Okay.
So how fun is that, though? What a genius idea! Seriously, like that would just solve so many problems. Like, just remove the logo of the Native American and replace it with whatever the team name is. You could be like the Atlanta Hawks. He said you could be still the Chicago Blackhawks. You just have to change the logo, the face of the logo. So.
Eddie Heckman makes a great comment by saying the Orioles are probably offensive to somebody. Probably offensive to Bluebird and Robin fans.
These days,
in terms of birds, yeah.
You know what? Are the Padres offensive? The Padres are.
All right. I think we get the point.
And no, the point is that if we keep being offended by everything, then we're not going to have a language to communicate with anymore.
Let's not go there. Let's just go with the fact that you can keep the Blackhawks name and just change the logo. You can keep the names, but change the logo to Redskin potatoes. All right.
The comments are very interesting on the video. I love reading the comments on his videos, especially because he does, this topic is an interesting topic where a lot of people have a very significant point of view, but it's really not. Mostly, I don't know. The people getting offended are typically not the ones.
Right. Okay.
It should be.
Did you see the home run leaderboard with Ohtani on top and Vlad and Tatis? It comes down. Kyle Schwarber is still on the leaderboard. Kyle Schwarber is tied with Mitch Haniger. And where has Schwarber been? He hasn't been around for a couple of weeks.
And he won't be back for a couple of weeks. He won't be around anymore.
That's right.
All I know, forget about the leaderboard. I saw Fernando Tatis again yesterday hitting the home run.
Yep.
I think he has 30 now. I mean, that's exciting to watch. I really don't, the whole leaderboard thing is fine, but.
Yeah, well, just to say that Schwarber is still, it's so great. I thought, we complain so much about baseball and changing all the rules, trying to make it faster, quicker. Everybody complains. But we're in the midst of arguably the greatest of all baseball, with Guerrero and Ohtani arguably having the best year of any player in the history of the majors. And then you got all the young Acuna who's hurt, and all. It's just an unbelievable display of young players coming into baseball, and I think we should concentrate on that a lot more than concentrating on the negatives.
I'm just concentrating on filling out my DFS lineup for today. Guess what? I won yesterday. I won $12. I only spent $1, and I joined a DFS contest with 540 players.
Very good.
I came in. What did I come in? 12th.
All right. When do I get my share?
You never do.
So in other words, I can only lose. I can't win.
You pay for me to replenish my bank roll, and then I play with the money that I get.
I find it interesting that in the first round of trading before the trading deadline, it's all the old guys. All right? The second oldest hitter is Cruz. Pujols is 41. He changed teams. Now Rich Hill, who's 41. So all the old guys moving around. What does that mean for me?
I don't know. Maybe it means you're more popular because you're an old guy, and maybe that means that people love old guys. I like old guys, but so I talked about this yesterday on Saturday Baseball, and it is the oldest pitcher in Rich Hill and the second oldest hitter in Nelly Cruz. And what is Nelly Cruz, the clutch of the clutch? What does he do? He goes and he hits a home run the first day. And you know what else? He has more home runs after age 35 than he does before age 35. And there's only a handful of players that have more home runs after the age of 35 than they did before they turned 35. And do you know who they are?
No, I don't.
You don't know who they are?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, let's just put that question out. Who do you guys think in the chat room? I want some guesses of the hitters in Major League Baseball who, and it's in the history of Major League Baseball, who actually hit more home runs after their 35th birthday than they did before.
Okay, pretty good. I think we're at the most exciting time of the year for Major League Baseball. Now, we know that the preparation for the season, when you're preparing for fantasy baseball, you're speculating about your home team, the team that you love. You're wondering who's going to make the team, the batting orders. But now it's crunch time. The trade deadline in Major League Baseball provides, in my opinion, the greatest trade deadline activity of any sport. And there's so much going on, so many players, so many important players who could make a difference. Right now, Evan Grant, big time writer out in Texas, reports that the Rangers are trying to extend Joey Gallo. And if they can't do it, they will consider trade offers. Gallo has he signed a 1-year contract, but he still has arbitration. So it allows Texas to hold on to him. But yep.
The other day, the Texas Rangers were losing by a humiliating amount. Okay. And what I read, it was the day that I did the podcast for you. So I was reading the game recaps, and the manager said, here's Joey Gallo out there doing, our best player is doing whatever he can to continue to keep in the game. And, that's, if we had about 3 more Joey Gallos on our team, we'd be, a lot better off. But basically just really complimenting Joey Gallo for still trying 100%, always keeping his attitude good, and just being a leader on the team. So I'm not surprised that they're looking to extend him.
The Yankees, according to Evan Grant,
How long are they going to extend him? When are they going to win? Like, are they going to extend him for the next 15 years?
No idea. But I'll tell you what, if they do extend him, and then his trade value is even more if they could extend him, because he still is nobody. Right now he's a 1-year rental, and if they extend him, you get a player who may have a contract. Kevin Hastings in the chat room. Good morning to Kevin.
Hey,
nice to
Kevin.
See Kevin. Leonard Donaldson, Jay Stubbs, Eddie Heckman, Doug Boyle, Rottweiler is here.
Yay!
Good morning to you all.
Okay, Jay Stubbs, meet Kevin. He's Royals to Royal Boom. I forget Kevin's name. I haven't seen him in a while. But 2 Kansas City fans, and Jay Stubbs wrote in the chat room a nugget. He has a nugget for us, and Kevin will appreciate this nugget. Yesterday was Alex Gordon Day in Kansas City. He got to throw the first pitch, but did not throw it from the pitcher's mound. He went to left field and threw a strike to Salvador Perez at the plate. Okay, and he put up the video in the chat room. Nice to see you, Kevin. And
you forgot Kevin's name?
No, I forgot his username here. I knew it was Royals Boom. I forgot the 29.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Kevin Hastings. And then Jimmy K is in the chat room. Good morning to you. Laura is here. Good morning to Laura. Nice to see you in the chat room. We'll be coming up to visit you sooner than later.
And what about Rottweiler? Good morning to you.
You mentioned Rottweiler. Unfortunately, our trip, we decided to postpone it for at least a month. We'll see what happens. The Arizona Fall League, starting up a month later than it did last year. It wasn't announced when we thought about leaving August 1st. So now we're making a little bit of a change. We're going to wait it out a little bit with the COVID. And one thing about the Arizona Fall League, please remember, the dates have been announced, but it's still not official that they will be allowing fans in the seats. So be very careful before you make plans for the Arizona Fall League, okay? Make sure that when you get there, you'll be allowed to go to games. I'll be posting that as soon as we hear it. Okay, there you go.
And once again, we congratulate our friends, Finstermans, Dana, and what the hell is Finsterman's first name?
Justin.
Gosh, okay, that's how much I call. I can't remember Rottweiler's wife's name right now. I can't remember Kevin's thing. I can't remember anything.
All
but
right,
I
just
can remember
relax.
this. Mia is the new addition to the Finstermans, and I'm very
Okay.
excited. I can't wait. Okay.
Joe Sherman reports that it's, the pitchers, like the star pitchers, the Marlins, the Rockies, the Reds, Sandy Alcantara, Luis Castillo.
Luis Castillo.
We'll talk about that. German Marquez. According to Joel Sherman, they should be putting their players on the market. The current market is benefit of controllable high-end starters. Any club moving the right one may find it can turn $1 of value into a lot more than that. Okay.
I don't remember Joel Sherman becoming a manager. I don't remember him getting that job. So,
well, I don't know about Cincinnati, but he says, look, what would they do for a high-end contending team in the next 60 days? Okay, it's
right,
it's pretty. They could grab a lot in terms of high-end prospects. That's for sure.
So you're basically saying that you would deal Luis Castillo.
Well, I don't
even
know.
Though
That's the big question. I don't know if Cincinnati can be counted out yet.
Well, your boy Joel Sherman apparently thinks that they should be, and he very is clear about these statements that these teams should be marketing these players. And the thing is, why would Cincinnati market their best pitcher? By the way, let me just go ahead and touch on what Luis Castillo has been doing over the past since June 1st. The best ERA in baseball, that's number one. I'm so happy I did not choose to drop him, and I really love him right now. So my feelings for Luis Castillo have been like bipolar, okay? Bipolar.
Front runner,
2 more years
front runner. That's all I can say about you, but I will
Elizabeth.
tell you.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Yeah, nice to see you all, okay? Front runner.
What does
okay?
that mean? What are you talking about?
That means that you like him when he's good, you don't like him when he's bad.
Hey, I didn't drop him, did I?
No,
I didn't trade him, did
you
I? I stood
did
up
not,
for him against Douglas, who said he wasn't a good pitcher, even in his worst days. I did.
Certainly in Miami and Colorado, they should be looking at trading their top pitchers. But Cincinnati, probably going to wait a couple of weeks, see what happens in that division. They still have a chance.
Miami should not be trading their best pitchers. That is a ridiculous statement, in my opinion.
Oh,
because they're building. They are building a team, and they've been building a team.
That's
and these
a good
pitchers,
point.
I mean, you don't just, I don't know, like Joel Sherman, it's fine to have an opinion. He's a writer. That's what he does. He writes about these teams, but I only just take it for what it is. He's not a manager, and I just don't agree that Miami should be selling their best pitchers or trading them away. Like, what? Do they ever want to win? Eventually, you would want to win.
So we all know, we've all heard the names: Trevor Story, all the guys being traded, potential trades at the deadline. One name that has not been mentioned until now, and that is Jose Ramirez could be available at the deadline. According to John Morosi. The Indians lost the other night for the 5th time in 6 games. They fell to 500. His contract includes affordable team options for 2022 and 2023. So, look, they could wait till the offseason to move him. But reports are the Seattle Mariners, if they stay in the race, are the team to watch. They have a rich farm system. They have flexibility at second and third. And Jerry DiPoto is always ready to deal. And if Seattle finds themselves in contention, don't think that Cleveland will not trade Jose Ramirez.
I don't see them trading him. I really don't. The Indians have Jose Ramirez under control through 2023. I'm sure if they were blown over by an offer, they would do it. But the Cleveland Indians believe that they could actually contend like in the near future. So, I mean, they actually have a club option for $11 million, and that is in 2022. In 2023, they have a $13 million club option. That's like less than half of what Mike Trout makes. And there's just no reason why they would trade this guy. And they've even come out and said that they're not interested in trading him. I read that on MLB Trade Rumors. That
All
comes
right. Well, I'm sorry.
so.
You know, I read that he's
John
not.
Morosi has an opinion.
I read he's not untouchable, but they have to be blown away, and that
Right.
makes more sense, right?
Nobody's untouchable, right?
Nobody except you.
Nobody.
You are.
Well, nobody
Uh,
wants me anyway, so
Now you
it's okay.
talked about Louis Castillo,
Yes,
7
23.
innings, no earned runs. Every contender would want to get this guy. He's one of the most coveted pitchers on the trade market. If Cincinnati decides to go that way,
They're
his
not.
past 9 starts since July. You know what his earned run average is? His last 9 starts in July.
It's more than you. It's less than you even have on the on your notes. It's less than
It's
that now.
it's 1.76.
No,
That's what it is.
nope.
Okay.
It's
So,
1.56 over his last 63 innings pitched since June 1st.
okay, whatever you say.
But let
Okay.
me say one other thing. He had 23 swings and misses. Okay, yesterday he finished
Right.
with his highest strikeout total since May. He allowed 1 or 0 runs in 6 of his past 8 starts, and his ERA has been brought down from 6.47 to 4.20. But it was
Yeah.
over 7 heading into June, and June 1st on, he's got the best ERA in baseball. I love it. I love Luis Castillo.
So let me ask you this question: why would the Reds trade their best pitcher
They're
when
not
he's
going to.
when he's under contract for 2 more years
Yeah.
after this year? And the Reds have a lot of good young talent coming up and are in a win now situation.
They're not.
Do you think it makes any sense?
They're not in a win now situation. They have Moustakas, who's been injured all season long. They just added him. They just added Castillo. I really don't think they're in a win now situation, but next year they are going to be able to win if they're healthy. And Luis Castillo is going to be a huge part of that. There's no possible way they can win without him.
No, they're only 5.5 games out of a playoff spot, so they're probably, certainly for now. Minnesota has an all-star lefty reliever, Taylor Rogers. He's striking out over 13 batters per nine.
Yeah,
He's
too
got
bad
9 saves. Well, he's got a year of control.
he blows saves all day.
He's got a great chance to be dealt, and so many teams looking for closers. You can name any team and there'll be a closer. Who traded for Bauer to hold on to next year?
I almost did before he got in. I don't know.
Yes,
Hey,
Rottweiler. Yes.
Rottweiler says what? Who traded for Bauer?
Who traded for Bauer to hold on to for next year?
I don't think that's a good idea, to be honest with you, but
Is he done for this year, do you think?
I'm 90% positive that he isn't going to pitch again this year. And I'm
Really?
about 60% positive that he isn't going to pitch again ever in Major League Baseball.
Now,
but hold on a minute. Twins and their trade situation. I do think that Taylor Rogers is going to get traded, or he's going to be absolutely up for market. But Berrios is another question mark here with the everybody talks about who could possibly get Berrios. He's like the best potential trade target, right? Pitching wise, starting pitcher. I do want Rottweiler. I'm going to talk about Danny Duffy. The San Francisco Giants are very much interesting to me. And by the way, I love the San Francisco Giants, but Lenny doesn't believe in them. So go ahead.
I don't
explain yourself.
I don't think the Giants will make the playoffs.
Oh,
I think they're falling apart.
I think their pitching is going to win them.
Kevin Gausman has seen his best days.
Oh, please.
Take a look at what he did last night. The whole thing. I'm predicting that the Boston Red Sox and the Philadelphia Phillies are going to make it to the World Series.
Oh, that's just ridiculous.
When you take the Phillies, they've never exceeded the tax threshold. They
said they are. They said they will.
Pay attention. Why is there a dog barking?
Our neighbor has one, remember? He's a puppy, so we are patient with the dog barking. Just ignore it.
All right, so the Phillies have never exceeded, pay attention, they've never exceeded the tax threshold yet, but they appear to be open to doing it this year if Dave Dombrowski finds the right deal. Look, you don't hire Dombrowski, who's 64 years old, for a 10-year rebuild. And as you said, very brightly, you don't sign Bryce Harper for $330 million. You don't sign Zach Wheeler for $118 million. You don't sign JT Realmuto for $115 million. You're going to see what's going to happen. these Phillies with the Mets, the Braves, the Nationals appearing to be just treading water. The Phillies are going to buy. They're going to spend high. They could trade Spencer Howard, good-looking young pitcher, to Chicago for Craig Kimbrell. They could trade Alec Bohm, their good-looking third baseman, to somebody, maybe the Cubs for Chris Bryant. You're going to
Okay.
see the Phillies right in there.
The Phillies, dude, they're $4,306,000 of spending space room that they have before they go over, but it doesn't matter. They've already said it out loud that they are absolutely willing. Dave Dombrowski is. Once they got Dave Dombrowski, they added that was it. They were not going to mess around anymore. They were absolutely trying to go for it because that's the kind of manager that he is, right? He wants to be a manager of a winning team. The Phillies, they're expected to, they really need help in their bullpen. I have to say, I searched their needs by going to Fangraphs and comparing their team statistics to other teams in baseball. I found out that as far as relief pitching, their bullpen goes, they're second to last in WAR.
Yeah, and they're going to get Craig Kimbrell. Etch at your kitchen table. The Phillies will get Kimbrell.
Okay.
You don't think so?
I didn't deny it. I'm just telling you that they're negative 0.2 in WAR. The only team worse than them in bullpen is Arizona. Right. And they have a bunch of injuries, a bunch of problems here with their COVID issues. They got 5 or 4 guys on COVID. Plus they have just guys that are not coming through as far as closer. I mean, you're a fan of Hector Neris, but they also have Alvarado. They have Ranger Suarez, who's the latest. Okay. Right. The latest flavor of the day is Ranger Suarez, but they have Archie Bradley and Connor Brogdon. Brandon Kinsler is there, but they definitely need to invest. And they said that what I read is that they're interested in Kimbrell and a couple of other
anybody they could get to close. Anybody they could get to close.
I wish you wouldn't interrupt because it's so rude.
Too bad what you wish.
I'll mute you so quick, and you don't even know you won't be able to be heard.
I'm going to talk about your former team, the Red Sox, in a minute, why I predict that they will be in the World Series. But go ahead.
Well, they really go ahead. Why don't you tell me why they deserved after yesterday's debacle, okay, which was just embarrassing for them. And
well, first of all, Rottweiler wants to know if I'm awake. Schmacky is here. Hold on, everybody in the chat room. Let's hear it on the count of 3. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Schmacky. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Nelson. How you doing? Schmacky is in the chat room. Water, we miss you. Now, here's the Red Sox thing. At the start of the season, right, the Red Sox had no bullpen, right?
Adam they didn't have a starting rotation.
Well, I'm talking about the bullpen. Both Ottavino and Barnes have
There's nothing wrong with it. They were fine.
Batting average of under 200. They both have an ERA of about 2.5. The 3, 4, 5, 6 hitters have 15 or more home runs and 50 RBIs. Only the Astros and the Blue Jays can do that. And does anybody know who Garrett Whitlock is? Anybody know him? He's as good as anybody. He had, last time I looked, 17 scoreless appearances of more than 1 inning. Okay, so he also helps the bullpen. The offense is there. And the return of Chris Sale, they say he's very close right now. So there you go. Based on that, you can say that's going to be the Phillies against the Red Sox in the World Series.
That's just ridiculous. I'm going to go with San Francisco for a second. I want to talk about this because I find it, I feel like, well, first of all, Wilmer Flores is a big part of this team. And, he's my buddy. And every time I hear that he hit a home run clutch, I say, yay, Wilmer. Okay. But they're interested in Danny Duffy, which is interesting for several reasons to me. I feel like the San Francisco Giants have some kind of pitching manager, pitching coach over there that really understands how to take a 30-something-year-old pitcher and really revamp, just they have an eye for this thing. And so when I hear that the San Francisco Giants are interested in a guy like Danny Duffy, I think to myself, that's crazy. He's an interesting pitcher. He's actually been out a couple times. He's out right now. He's injured. He's got forearm flexor strain, which is like a precursor to Tommy John almost all the time if you don't take very good care of it. So this is not the first time that he's been on the injured list with this flexor strain, but the Giants, I feel like they see something that the normal guy doesn't see. And so therefore I'm going to give Danny Duffy a little more credit as far as like what I think of his talent. And even though he's hurt right now, I just think that if he goes to the Giants, it's so much better. Obviously, the ballpark is better. Not as good as it used to be, but it's still good. And the whoever's pitching coach over there is getting the job done and deserves some serious credit. I should give him the respect of at least learning his name.
Okay, Roto Lady, let's see how smart you are.
Okay.
Do you think, and I know you're a conspiracist, right? You believe in all these conspiracy things.
What's the difference between a conspiracy theory and a conspiracy? It's 6 months.
Okay, anyway, do you think that Max Scherzer being scratched last night from his start for mild discomfort, as they say, you think that's because they're ready to make a trade and they don't want anything to happen to him?
They're ready to make it. No, they're not making a trade with him. They're not trading him. First of all, he's not going anywhere. They're doing it out of precaution. The MRI came back clean.
All right.
This guy is expected to make his next start. I do not foresee them trading him. I don't know. I don't see it. Go ahead.
They're 7 games behind, and a Scherzer trade suddenly seems very possible. Okay.
How are they going to trade this guy? He's owed so much money, isn't he?
He's got veto rights. He's confident. He's not going to go on the injured list. Look, I don't know. I just really believe that he could be traded.
This is his last season. He's got like 3,000 innings on his arm. I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration. I think it's more like 2,600 innings on his arm just in the majors, not including the minor leagues. I just don't see anybody wanting to take this on, especially right now. And if it is for precautionary reasons, they really just nixed their chances of trading him because no team is going to take this on. They will still owe him like half of $27 million for this season. And then I don't know what they would even do with the fact that he's owed $105 million more, dude, after the next he gets $15 million a year through 2028. That's not going anywhere. So why would they trade Max Scherzer if they're still going to have to pay the guy through 2028, $15 million a year? No team's going to take on an injured guy, an old guy with all those innings, and they would still probably have to be stuck with the $15 million a year for the next 7 years.
He's still a good pitcher, and
not going anywhere.
Kevin in the chat room says it's hard for the Nats to sell 7 games behind after the move they made in the second half of 2019. Schwarber's coming back soon. Nice comment by Kevin Hastings in the chat room. When you listen here to me every morning at 9 a.m., Andrea on Saturday, the lady and the legend on Sunday, it's not only what you're hearing, it's the chat room, the greatest group of fantasy baseball people in the country, right here in the chat room.
Boston
right?
and Philly. Is that you, Leonard, saying Boston and Philly? That's
yeah.
That's a funny.
Who's that?
In the Facebook comments.
Yeah, I know Harry. I know. What's the name? Mishap is in there.
Hi, Mishap.
Mishap is in. The Mets are scouting. Go ahead.
Hold on, I got to fix the chat room for Malpal. Go ahead, keep talking. I'll fix the chat room. So anybody on mobile can't see the chat room right now.
Okay, the Mets are scouting the Cubs and the Diamondbacks. They're looking at Chris Bryant. Makes a lot of sense at third base. Escobar, Davies, all the relief pitchers, and that's for sure. But one of the big players that's in the and by the way, Crystal Ball has just informed me that she will be here shortly. So stay tuned for the great Crystal Ball coming out here. And who was the other girl who wanted to come on? I keep forgetting her name. Crystal Ball, and I forget the other girl's name. But anyway.
A Roto lady?
No, not, who's the other psychic?
Another girl wants to come on?
Who's the other?
Psychic? Shoot.
Come on, pay
Every
attention.
time we forget, right?
Yeah,
wait, clairvoyant. Her name is Claire.
Yeah, clairvoyant may come on as well with crystal ball. So clairvoyant and crystal ball may be coming in. Dennis Timko is here. Holy cow!
Let me
And
answer a question. Pete Dodd.
Aiden is
Hi,
here too.
Aiden. We love little Aiden. He's probably not little anymore.
He ain't
By the
little
time I see
anymore.
him again, he's going to be bigger than me.
That's
Okay.
right.
Hopefully he's bigger than me.
Yeah.
I keep growing too during all this. Anyway, Pete has a question. He wants to know the chances of Trevor Story ending up in New York. This is a question that is very right up on topic. I specifically was looking at this morning that, of course, the beat writers always want to say that Trevor Story is a great fit for New York. They would just move Gleyber Torres, and he hasn't been that good defensively at shortstop, blah, blah, blah. There's no possible way, in my opinion, that Trevor Story is a good fit for the Yankees.
If the Yankees start winning, Trevor Story will be in New York. Guaranteed.
Okay, let me explain. They will have to go over the tax threshold to get him, first of all.
They don't give a damn.
That's not the only player that they would need to contend in the American League East or to even make the playoffs at this point.
Don't forget, a team that goes over the tax threshold will make it all up, plus if they can make it to the World Series.
They're 8 games behind Boston and Tampa.
Well, I don't think they have.
So they need more than just a Trevor Story to complete their team. They would need a starting pitcher. That's just okay. And so if they go over, but they haven't gone over the tax threshold since Senior Steinbrenner.
Yeah, but it makes sense with the amount of money that they will bring back. The player that I think the Yankees are really going to get could be Starlin Marte.
They have less of a chance of making the playoffs than the Mariners.
That's all right. I agree. Starlin Marte, Yankees, the Phillies, the Astros, the Giants,
doesn't make
Adam
sense.
Duvall. But this opens up, not only does it put Marte on a good team, it opens up, if Duvall and Marte go, there are a couple players in Florida who you should be picking up right now. One of them is Magnarius Sierra.
No, he's not worth picking up.
He absolutely is.
Well, he can't hit righties.
If Marte and Duvall go, Sierra is the guy who's going to steal you a bunch of bases.
Okay. Sierra he's successful on the base paths when he gets an opportunity to play, but he can't hit righties.
But
so what's he going to do? He'll be in a platoon at best.
He'll be playing when Duvall and Marte go. Okay.
Well, we'll talk about that when it happens. Okay, because that's a lot. That's a lot to say. I know that the Marlins are active, and I know that they're obviously trying to get rid of Marte because he is not working out any kind of thing with them. So, but whatever. The Marlins have a lot of injuries right now, dude. Look at this. They got Trevor Rogers, Sandy Alcantara is on bereavement, but Pablo Lopez is out. These are their 3 best pitchers right now. Zach Thompson's been pretty good, but the Miami Marlins now, Jesus Sanchez is COVID. John Birdie is on the injured list. Like, everybody's hurt, and that's the only reason that your boy Sierra is going to get any playing time.
He's going to get playing time. All right.
For now, because he's a lefty.
Anthony D.B. Miller is going to get playing time too. Good morning. Welcome to the chat room.
Okay,
Anthony.
moving on.
Moving on with a great chat room. Laura, Jimmy K, Jay Stubbs, Eddie Heckman, Dougie Boyle, Dennis Timko. You got Anthony Miller in there. You got Leonard Donaldson, Kevin Hastings. Schmacky is in the chat room. Good morning to everybody. All right. Whoa.
Can we only just narrow that down, that whole little spiel that you do? Can we narrow that down to like once every 20 minutes or something?
I love these people. Good. And Merrill Kelly, wow, has he come on with the Arizona Diamondbacks? His last 6 starts, he's got a 2.5 ERA, drawing a ton of interest, mainly by the Philadelphia Phillies, as I'm hearing. Okay.
So the Phillies, do they need a starting pitcher, or maybe they'd be better off getting a bullpen guy, Leonard?
They're going to get both. Tell you that right now. And a hitter. They're getting a starter. They're getting a relief. Phillies are going to spend. You remember in a couple of years ago, the owner of the team, whose name is John Middleton, he made a very unfortunate phrase. He said, "We're going to spend dirty money. We're going to spend as much money as we need to get what we want." Now, we didn't do it, but he did get Bryce Harper. The Phillies are going to spend whatever it takes. They're going at it full blast, in my opinion.
They owe him five. So for Merrill Kelly, they owe him. He gets paid $5 million through 2022, and then he gets arbitration 2, and then he gets arbitration 3. So it's going to take a lot of money to get Merrill Kelly from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Okay, are you ready to go over?
You know what I love? I love the Mets. I love the Mets saying we're not willing to trade prospects, but we're willing to give you money.
Okay.
We have too much money and not enough prospects. That's what they're saying. They want to get players, but they don't want to trade prospects. I don't blame them. You know, it kind of defeats the purpose when. Anyway, what do you think the Mets are? You think the Mets are going to hang in there?
Look, the Mets have been in first place for 76 days.
Atlanta has a better run differential.
Okay. The Mets have been 4 games in front for 76 days.
Yeah, but you know how they go. You know how the Mets roll.
I am a Mets fan.
If there's any team that can lose that 4-game lead, it's the Mets. No doubt about it.
Good morning to Colombo. Okay.
The Dodgers are creeping up on the San Francisco Giants, who have lost 2 in a row. But
you ready? Are you ready to go over the games?
It doesn't really matter. I'll do whatever you do.
Well, I'm just asking if you're ready to go over the games.
I've been ready. Whatever you want.
Okay.
Please focus. If
I
we're going to do
focused.
something. Focus.
The Braves and the Phillies with the big story. Freddie Freeman, his first swing and miss in 138 pitches. That is remarkable.
So what? He hit his 23rd homer yesterday.
But he didn't have a swing and a miss in 35 appearances. Now, if you go to the pitching side, what would be the equivalent of no swing and misses in 35 plate appearances?
35 or 135? Isn't it 130 something?
It was 138 pitches, 35 plate appearances.
35 plate appearances. Okay, I would say that would be not allowing any hits for the last 5 starts.
I think it would be pitching 9 innings without throwing a ball. I mean, without getting called for a ball. Of course, you got to throw the ball. But I would say that would be no balls.
Okay.
No pitches out of the strike zone. No pitches called a ball. If a pitcher could do that for 9 innings, that would be the same thing. Good morning to King Hat.
Let me explain something to you about the Phillies defense.
Star Dog is here. What? Holy cow, look at us. We're going crazy.
I'm going to put you on mute. That's it. I'm putting you on mute.
Don't put me.
I'm going to punish you.
Next time won't work. White Sox out.
I just put him on mute. You hear me? I put him on mute and he can hear me, but nobody can hear him. See how that works, Leonard?
Oop. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Behave.
All right, go ahead. All right, let's continue.
Let me tell you about the Phillies. Their defense is horrible. Also, their defense is horrible. Didi Gregorius, 10 errors so far. 10. Mm-hmm. Plus, they committed 2 errors yesterday, but they commit errors constantly, and that's a problem. So, I mean, yes, they want to contend, but unless they fix their bullpen and their error problem, then they're not going to.
No, so Doug Boyle comes up with a good one. He says he could go 138 pitches without a swing and miss. He would just take them all. He wouldn't swing. That's pretty good.
Well, yeah, okay. So anyway,
you know what Freeman is? Wait a second. Since June 3rd, Freddie Freeman is batting .445. Are you kidding me? Now, if Atlanta wins the National League East...
Well, I don't know why that's so surprising to you.
Compared to what he was doing at the beginning, when you're batting .445 since June 23rd, a month ago, that's pretty good. So if Jake DeGrom, the NL MVP frontrunner, if he's out for an extended period, you think Freddie Freeman's going to be the MVP if Atlanta wins the National League East?
I mean, I don't see why he couldn't be. Yeah, I mean, it's not crazy to think that he would be. I mean, I'm glad that he's hitting well again. Since June 1st, he's batting .350 with 11 homers and 29 RBIs, 37 runs scored. This is all since June 1st. He's been an amazing player since then.
Very good.
But before that, he was horrible.
Wow.
So you got that going.
So you had Freeman, Abraham Almonte, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Jock Peterson, all homered as the Braves beat the Phillies 15-3. And the win allowed the Braves to move back into a tie for second place.
So there you go.
With the Phillies, 48-49.
When you get beat like that, within your division, it has to make you question if you're really willing to go over the tax threshold in a situation like this, because you'd have to be pretty certain that these, whatever you grab at the trade deadline, is actually going to be enough to put you over the top. And it's just not. The Phillies, I don't want them to quit. I don't think they should quit or give up, but to go over the tax threshold, that's like $30 million in penalties that they have to pay. So it's whatever they get plus another, I don't know if it's 15 or 30. It's expensive, okay, even for rich people.
Well, Drew Smiley left the game after
4 innings.
4 innings, described as left knee pain, scheduled to be evaluated.
Hey, man, at least it's sorry. At least it's not his elbow.
It just doesn't stop. Philadelphia now has lost 4 of their last 5.
Excuse me.
Is hitting 102. They're 5 for 49 with runners in scoring position. Go ahead.
At least it wasn't Vincent Velasquez, who only lasted 2 1/3 innings yesterday. 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 1/3.
Unbelievable. McCutcheon went 3 for 4. And look, the Phillies, they need a lot of areas. Dude. They need the starting rotation. They need the closer. Philadelphia hasn't made the playoffs since 2011.
I'm about to cut you off and mute you again.
All right, go ahead. You can speak.
No, just talk about Seattle. We already talked about the Phillies and what they can and can't do. Let's go move on to Miami, San Diego.
Go ahead. You go.
Fernando Tatis, NL leading, 30th home run. I love it. Yep. That's all I got on that game.
Jesus Aguilar lined the go-ahead 2-run single. That was pretty good. Braxton Garrett pitched the seventh inning of 2. He allowed 4 hits. He's not good. Dylan Florio had Yimi Garcia.
Hold on a minute.
Who is
Braxton Garrett? I don't appreciate what you just did to Braxton Garrett.
He pitched 7 innings of 2-run ball
and 10 Ks, and you just said he isn't any good.
Well, I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
I mean, this guy could be available in lots of leagues.
You're absolutely right. That was my bad.
Okay, so let's go back up here with Mr. Ryan Weathers pitching for the Padres. This guy, whoever's been waiting for this guy, like he's San Diego is so maddening. They're worse than Tampa Bay this year as far for fantasy managers, because if you had Weathers or Lamet on your roster as a starter and you're just waiting and waiting for these guys to build up their innings so they could actually qualify for a win, it's just not happening at all. And I know Weathers was back on the injured list again, so it kind of put him back at square one, but I just don't see it. Like, if you have either one of these guys, it's pointless on your team because you can't get a win from them unless you're putting them in your relief spot, which I don't even think that's possible because there's I don't know. Moving on. So home run, Tatis and Weathers hit a home run yesterday. Can you imagine his first home run?
Fantasy baseball, pick up Dylan Florio if you can. He pitched a perfect 8th. Yimi Garcia got his 15th save and 17 chances. He's a free agent. He's gone.
Why in the world would you pick up Floro?
Because he's going to be the closer.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you don't pick up people based on that, do you?
You pick, if you need saves, you get him before he's announced. Get him now. Well, you can still get him.
Okay.
Once it's announced that Yimi has been traded, don't work no more. Okay.
I would try for Barlow or something, or Bender. Or Bender.
Okay, and whoever you can get. All right. Denelson Lamet. We're going to ask Crystal Ball about him later on. Denelson Lamet. Okay.
Forget about him.
No timetable, but he's still pitching. Brian Anderson was activated. Brian Anderson activated. Okay. That's good. Trevor Rogers placed on the injured list. That's no good. Unbelievable. All right, Cincinnati, St. Louis. What do you got?
Well, you have to go ahead and say what you have, because I have to pull their game up still to look at the box scores. I have my own notes, okay? All
right, Paul Goldschmidt with a first inning home run last night, closing in on 1,500 hits, and next year, another year, he'll have 300 home runs. Jesse Winker homered, double, drove in. What a year Winker is having. What a year.
Okay, right. And the Cincinnati Reds have beat the Cardinals 6 games straight, and they haven't done that in how many years?
42.
No, 18 years. It's been 18 years since they beat the Cardinals 6 games straight.
You know, for real.
Arenado's still hitting. 27th double yesterday. Arenado, clutch.
For those of you who just joined us, Andrea has a way of keeping Redskins as a team name. Change the logo from an Indian to a Redskin potato.
That's not my idea, by the
Whatever.
way.
Who's the other one? What was the other one?
You could
Change the
just
logo
change the logos of these teams. Change the logo of the Blackhawks to a black hawk, a bird.
I love it.
This is not my idea, but it is a genius, and it came from my boy Dick. I called him Dick. He will laugh at that. Vic DiBitetto, the comedian.
The Reds have won 3 of 4 after dropping their first 4 of their 9-game homestand, so that's good. And guess who got the save?
I was going to say, when are you going to bring up your boyfriend?
His 8th save. Guess who got it?
Your boy, 37, 42-year-old Hembry.
Heath Hembry. Named the only fantasy analyst who mentioned Heath Hembry's name.
You, Leonard.
That's right. Just want to
Doolittle
remind
almost got himself in some deep trouble yesterday. He had the bases loaded, but he was able to get out. Doolittle is having a lot of struggling with left-handed hitters, and is what it is. But yes, Hembry, he's been very good. I would say he's got to be, if he's not picked up, that would be the first choice for a closer right now, because he is definitely getting the job done. It's so funny, too, on a team where they started out with too many closers. We didn't know who was going to be the closer. Neither of these guys got it done. One of them was DFA'd, I think. And the other one is injured or whatever he's doing. He wasn't very good when he was actually in. That's Amir Garrett. And then they've gone through a couple other ones, like Hembry came out of nowhere. So good job, Hembry, and I'll give Leonard the credit for this. What about
Thank you very much.
What about this Woodford, Cardinals pitcher who made it through 5 innings? So that's tells me that he's worth a look at.
Not bad. He gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, only 2 strikeouts. But you know what? At this point in
the
time,
last 2 outings, he's had 5 innings each.
Not a bad pickup. Not a bad pickup at all. Good morning to.
Not a great pickup.
Well, we have to say hello to somebody.
Lenny, I said you get to do that every 15, 20 minutes.
I'm just saying hello to Matt Hooper. Good morning, Matt Hooper.
Hooper.
The very special Matt Hooper. Now, Jonathan India had a streak of reaching base. He led off the first inning in 6 consecutive games, the longest in the majors reaching base, according to Elias Sports. He's the longest by a Red player since Pokey Reese, reaching 6 straight games to lead off a game. So nice going by India.
Pokey Reese. Yay, Pokey Reese. Okay, 1 second, though. As far as Jack Flaherty is concerned, Jack Flaherty, remember him?
I remember him with the left oblique strain, right?
Right. So he threw 40 to 45 pitches or he threw a side session yesterday. He's going to throw 40 to 45 pitches on Tuesday, and then he's actually eligible to be activated on Saturday. So look forward to that. What do you think about today? I really am going to take Sonny Gray in DFS because I think that the Cardinals are a little bit mentally, they have to be a little bit. Oh, hold on, everybody. I got to go get Lenny back on. I should just leave him off because he's so annoying. Hold on.
Okay. There you go. Big Al and the Prowl is here. Good morning to Big Al and the Prowl. All right, we're back.
All right, let's move to the next game.
That's like taking a commercial break, okay? And by the way, with Miles Mikolas with his right forearm tightness,
Nobody cares about him.
he pitched 3 efficient innings in AAA.
So
if you have him, you would have cared about him.
Nobody has
give me
him
that
though.
crap.
Who? Let me ask you a show of hands, please. If you're out there,
There
I'd like
are
to know
people that have Miles Mikolas.
if you have Mikolas on your team. I'd like to know what spot you are in the leaderboard. Okay, that's right. Chicago at Arizona. Arizona at Chicago.
Yep.
Arizona at Chicago.
Your boy Dalton Varsho homered in his 3rd straight game.
Let me tell you.
Wow.
I talked about him yesterday in Saturday Baseball. I talked about him because yes, he's playing catcher right now, but he also can play all 3 outfield spots. And no, he has not been good in the majors, but he does hit better in the minors. It just seems like he hasn't really been able to translate that yet. And I will say that Dalton Varsho, I don't know. He's obviously not going to continue hitting like this, but he is going to get playing time because their catcher is injured. I can't remember if is it Carson Kelly, their catcher?
Yeah, that's right. Carson Kelly, the whole deal. They come back. They traded Vogt. So
hold on, I'm pulling up his.
I just told you what they did. That's what they did. Okay.
I was just pulling up my notes on Dalton Varsho, if you don't mind. That's all I was doing. I was pulling up my notes.
Absolutely don't mind. Okay? I don't mind.
Okay. So there you go. You got that. Now, Alec Mills is back, 5 innings. I think he's been back a couple times now, but 5 innings is good enough. The Cubbies they have to get rid of some players, which is kind of sad because they're going to be breaking up the Bryant, Baez, Rizzo dealio. Right. My guess, it's just an opinion and not a very, I don't know, it's just what I see. I do think they're going to get rid of Bryant because he's not a fan of the Cubbies. And Rizzo and Baez are staying. That's my opinion. But Baez is asking like crazy amount of money for a guy that strikes out
$200 million is what he's asking for.
I can't even get through a sentence with you.
Go ahead. Well, talk a little faster then.
You're so fucking annoying. I swear. Honestly, forgive me. Aiden, forgive me. But
go ahead. Yeah, keep your mouth clean, will you? All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I would, but I can't with you. I can't.
Go ahead. Malpal is here. Good morning.
We already talked. Oh, good. Malpal's here in the chat room now.
Yes, now you can be
fix
human.
The chat room.
Okay.
Oh, now I can be human. Well, Tina's here too.
All right, good. So go ahead.
Tina. We have lots of girls, ladies.
All right, good.
I like ladies. Okay. So that's it on this game. There's not a lot going on here, really. There's just not a lot. Home runs, Young.
Andrew Young, 2-run homers.
Who's
a pitch hitter.
Young? I don't even know who it is.
It's not really. It's not really fantasy relevant.
But I did see Wilson Contreras.
Yep.
Changed his shoes and then hit a home run.
He also charged out of the dugout after Jason Hayward took a strike, and he was ejected by plate umpire.
He was?
Oh, yeah. It was pretty bad.
Sticking up for his team.
That's right. Nico Horner struck out to end the game. Carson Kelly, though, as we mentioned, 5-0.
That's Merrill Kelly.
Merrill Kelly, Megan Kelly, Emmett Kelly, Roberto
if you would just,
Kelly.
Think about what you're going to say before you.
He's 5-0 in his past 7 starts. Looking pretty good.
So you know that there is a Trevor McGill and a Tylor McGill, right? Trevor and Tylor.
Yes.
And that's how you say his name, Tylor.
Yes.
I know this because I heard his mother talking about it. That's what he liked.
Okay, good. Tylor.
So what do you think of this Tylor? Well, Crystal Ball, we'll talk about him in a bit. Let's go back over to the games.
Jake Arrieta scheduled to throw live batting practice Monday. No big deal. Josh Rojas.
Freaking do.
Josh Rojas, 10-day injured list. Pittsburgh, San Francisco.
Oh, that's horrible because he's been hitting very great lately. That's horrible for that.
Pittsburgh, and then we're going to get right after the National League. We're going to go to Crystal Ball.
I love Wilmer. Did he do anything yesterday?
I don't think so. His name is not mentioned in my notes. Go ahead. Gregory Polanco homer, drove in 3 runs.
I don't care about him.
Kevin Newman had 4 hits. How about that?
I don't care about him.
16 hits for Pittsburgh, their season high. Will Crow held San Francisco to 2 runs. I'm telling you, San Francisco is in a lot of trouble.
Do you know that? No, he's not. I'm so sick of you. Wilmer Flores bats 5th in the order.
Yeah, that tells you why they can't make the playoffs.
Lamont Wade, your friend Lamont, he hit a homer yesterday.
All right. Brandon Belt hasn't played since June 23rd.
Now,
Recovered from Brandon Crawford, took ground balls.
so what? They activated Yaz. They activated Yaz
a couple of days ago.
So fine, but you like to focus on the things. I could tell you that the San Francisco Giants are in the lead. They have, I don't know if they still do, but I'm pretty sure they still have the best record in all of baseball, and they deserve it. So you need to give some credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
You don't, though, do you?
I will tell you.
What happened to Gausman yesterday? He went 4 1/3 with 8 hits. That's so what? It's a long season. Everybody has a bad outing.
It's
but they have a pitching
bad
coach.
outing in a row. He lacked command of a split-fingered fastball in his last 2. He's lost his best pitch.
Okay, he's having he's having a slump right now. What? You act like, I'm telling you, they have a magician for a pitching coach over there, so they'll figure it out. They will figure it out.
Now, Captain 15T is here. Good morning. Next. Colorado and LA. Are you impressed now that Kenley Jansen preserved the lead?
I never lost faith in him.
He'd blown saves against San Francisco Wednesday and Thursday.
Let me tell you who I love. Kyle Freeland. And if he's still available in your league, you should pick him up. He got a loss yesterday, but that doesn't matter. He's 1-5 overall on the season, so he should be available. But I'm telling you what about Kyle Freeland. Let me just pull up his recent games because this guy has been pitching well lately, and he started off the season so bad. Nobody will notice because his overall stats are looking horrible, but he went 7 innings yesterday. The last 6 starts, he hasn't gone less than 5 innings, and he's gone 6 innings 3 times and now 7 innings. That's a lot. So I have to say, in those ones I just said, the last 6 starts since June 22nd, and that's 35 innings pitched. He's got 30 strikeouts, a 2.06 ERA, a 1 WHIP. Okay. And he doesn't win a lot because Colorado stinks unless they're home. Then he wins there too, but he doesn't have a problem pitching at home. And he's given up 2 home runs in the last 35 innings. I think he's great for matchups. I think he's a very sneaky guy.
Okay, got to be careful with him. 12th time the Rockies were shut out this season, the most in the major leagues, even though they had 12 hits.
You got to pitch him at home. He's fine at home at Coors, and his his partners will hit the ball there. So they'll get
so
some
many, like Tony Gonsolin to start the season. I think he's been a waste. He only allowed 2 hits, struck out 7. He went 5 1/3. That's his season high.
Fine. He started the season injured, Leonard. Give him a break.
So are you recommending that Tony Gonsolin is picked up?
Absolutely. I absolutely think that first of all, I think that he's a great pitcher. In general, I think he's a good pitcher that hasn't had a good chance to get it done yet. And I absolutely think that Gonsolin is worth picking up, especially since he's starting to go later into games. He started, even when he came back from injury, even when he started the season, which was late, it was like June, he started the season. He was only pitching like a couple innings at a time. And now, without Bauer, and now that he's pitching 5 innings, I can expect him to continue to go 5 innings from here on out for the rest of his starts. Plus, he'll be able to take on a full load going forward because he missed the whole first part of the season. His ERA is only 2.38. So I'm telling you, he's a great pitcher in general.
Charlie Blackmon had a double in the first inning. He has now hit safely in all 7 games since the All-Star break, 12 for 28, 2 home runs. Mm-hmm. He's a big candidate to be traded, especially with his hot streak.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
If this guy,
tell me that more.
He better hit like a monster and a madman to make up for how bad he was starting the season, because you don't even know how many times I looked at my roster and said, I got to drop this guy. He is horrible. He is absolutely horrible. And you want to bench him, but you think to yourself, I'm going to bench Charlie Blackmon. And that's just ridiculous because you can't bench Charlie Blackmon and then you leave him in. And he would have to be Vladdy Jr., dude, from here on out for him to make up for how bad he was to begin the season.
Malpal is saying he thinks it's the Brewers and the Red Sox for the World Series. All right, I'll give you that. I like the Phillies.
How could he go against his Padres?
I don't know. What about Brendan Rodgers held out for another game.
Oh,
The
please.
hope is that he could return to the lineup Sunday. And Cody Bellinger took grounders at first base. And it's
Cody.
time for him to go back to first. He can't even run in the outfield.
He can't do anything, dude. Bellinger, I don't know. Does he have a girlfriend problem? Sometimes when these
What?
players, because let me finish. When like there's certain things that happen in people's lives that distract them, and like there's two players in baseball that I'm especially confused about, and one of them is Bellinger, and the other one is Christian Yelich. I just don't get how these two can go from low strikeouts, hardly ever striking out, with great plate discipline, an 80% contact rate. These guys are like pretty reliable, good across the board plate discipline hitters, and all of a sudden neither of these guys can hit. So remember when Andrew McCutchen got married? Now I'm not blaming his wife right now, but I'm just
Yes, you
saying,
are. Come on.
no, because he's been married since and he's fine now. But when he was getting married, it's like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, what is his problem? And I figured out he's getting married. I said, oh, that's the problem. Then I found out the other day that someone had a kid, and I thought, that makes kind of sense because this is something happening in his personal life. He's having his first baby, and it's a big deal. And so then he came back after, and he was back to normal. But I wonder about Bellinger, and I mean, he's a good-looking guy, and I wonder, like, who's he seeing? He needs to dump this girl and move on because she's just horrible for him.
Okay.
I'm just making up stuff. Sorry, girlfriend. I really, nothing
good.
personal. I don't even know who it is, if he's even seen any. Maybe he needs a girlfriend. I don't know. Maybe he needs a woman in his life. That's probably more like it.
Clayton Kershaw is going to pitch a simulated game on Tuesday.
What do you do with Bellinger?
You got to write it out.
You can't keep writing out a guy that hits 180.
You got to write it out.
I'm not writing it out any longer. He's not hitting at all.
We'll see. Okay.
He's striking out 26%.
Yeah, guy. Who are you going to put? Well, look.
Anybody. Like Wilmer. I'll put Wilmer Flores.
Who are you going to put in for Cody Bellinger?
Wilmer Flores.
Bull Dickey.
Or about 85 other people.
Josiah Gray is going to go against the Grays are going against each other. John Gray, Josiah Gray. Okay.
And Sonny Gray too today. Sonny Gray today.
And it looks like Corey Seager is going to go to Arizona to play in games next week, and he'll travel with the team to San Francisco.
Well, okay, fine. Josiah Gray, though, let's talk about him for a second.
We
have a youngster here, 23-year-old. 15 innings. That's all he pitched this year at AAA. Why did he only pitch 15 innings all season? I don't really know, but his ERA was 2.87. His WHIP was 0.66. Only 8 hits in 15 2/3 and 22 strikeouts. 2 walks. This guy was on fire at AAA. Plus, the year before, he didn't do it. We don't know his stats for 2020. It's a big secret. There's a whole year missing out of the stats for minor leaguers. But in 2019, he was just as good. Like, this guy's never had an ERA above 3 or even at 3. So Josiah Gray, the fact that he's only pitched 15 innings in the minors, it makes me wonder. He started 3 games. So that means that he pitched 5 innings a game.
Okay.
Now he pitched 4 innings on July 20th. His next start.
Go ahead.
Okay, forget it. Go ahead.
I'm listening to you. Finish.
No, you're not. Obviously, you're not.
Well, finish.
What is it that you want to say?
Crystal Ball is waiting to come on.
Then put her on.
And who was with her again? What's her name? I can't remember her name. Clara? I forgot her name.
You're about to get kicked off the show, okay? You are about to get kicked off the show.
What's Crystal Ball's friend's name?
Claire.
Clairvoyant. That's right. Crystal Ball and Clairvoyant coming on. So if you have any questions,
so go ahead and say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hi there, everybody in the chat room.
Oh, now you don't want to do it?
Important than you. They're more important than you. Okay, I could do a show as long as there's people in the chat room. I don't need you to do a show. All right, let's go, Crystal Ball.
I know, but your show is much better when I'm with you.
Good morning, Crystal Ball. How are you today?
Well, that was rude of her to say that, Leonard.
I know. And good morning to you, Clairvoyant. How are you?
I'm babysitting Crystal Ball's kids, wiffle and foot.
Yeah, wiffle ball and football.
And golf.
And golf ball and tennis ball. All good. So we got the Clairvoyant babysitting wiffle ball, babysitting Crystal Ball's kids. All right, Clairvoyant. Now, Crystal Ball. Ender Enciarte was put on assignment If somebody will pick him up.
Why do you keep? No, nobody's picking him up.
Who's gonna play center field for the Atlanta Braves?
I don't know, but I will. I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't.
You're supposed to know. That's your job.
Let's see. I don't know, but I wanted to talk about in Inciarte a little bit about that because
who's playing center field?
Maybe Jock Peterson will play center field.
Good.
How about Orlando? I don't know if Orlando or Cia plays center field, but I bet you that they could put Heredia. They have Guillermo Heredia there. He's not fantasy relevant.
All right, you want to talk about Inciarte? There's nothing to talk about.
Inciarte is 30 years old. He's not over the hill, but his skill set has been deteriorating rapidly. He doesn't steal bases anymore, which is what he used to do. He used to hit for good average. He doesn't do that anymore. Barely gets on base, can't steal bases. His defense is really what kept him going for this long, and he's no good at defense anymore. He's below average. So I will just say that nobody's picking up Inciarte as far as I'm concerned. I mean, what would they use him for? They don't use him in Atlanta. Okay. They don't have anybody but the freaking
done.
They have Heredia.
He's NL only at best. Ed Heckman says you don't sound like Claire. You sound like Clara Bell, not clairvoyant. Well, John Means.
Is Clara Bell a cow?
No, Clara Bell was a clown on the Howdy Doody show.
Okay.
John
I'd rather be a clown than a cow.
John Means is back in the Baltimore rotation. Do you think he'll return to the star form that he showed earlier in the year?
No, that was see, you're getting it backwards, see, because John Means was not the guy that you thought he was when he led the league in, I don't know, ERA, or he had something going on. He was like the best ERA in baseball. He still actually has a good ERA, but he hasn't been any good. He's not that good. He has never been good. I just don't think he's great.
Are you picking up Matt Harvey, who's had 2 outstanding starts?
No, thanks.
No thanks on Matt Harvey.
No way on Harvey. Although I do give him a lot of credit for, he had a really bad injury. He really fought hard to come back, even with everything up against him. He was really praised at being like he was, what did they call him? Like Batman or something. He was very popular and very good. And all of a sudden his entire career was pretty much, it could have been lost if he didn't try so hard to come back. I give him a lot of credit. Okay. I do that. Other than that, he's not going on my fantasy team. No possible way.
Okay. We talked about this before. If Marte and Duvall get traded, are you telling people to pick up Magneuris Sierra to steal some bases?
No, I'm not. I'm actually going to tell him instead to try to pick up Greg Allen for the Yankees, who has been stealing bases and can definitely keep stealing bases. He has 4 stolen bases and 22 at bats. So go pick up Greg Allen. Forget about this Sierra cat. He's no bueno. Dalton Varsho steals bases too, by the way.
Okay.
So he stole 2 bases in the last 21 at bats. Who else? Jorge Polanco, Minnesota. He's already taken. And Miguel Rojas. He's like 35, but he still is stealing bases.
Franchi Cordero was just brought up from, he was having a hot AAA.
Whatever.
Will Franchi Cordero, he could be traded.
I feel like deja vu.
Could be traded. Are you jumping on
Franchi? Could be traded. Who's going to take him? What team in are the Mets going to take him? There's only the Mets that are stupid.
Somebody will. All right, you don't want.
Hold on a minute.
Cordero, right?
God, you don't let me even.
Don't call me God.
I want you to please just, when you ask a question, you should just wait for a second until I answer it and then move on.
Go ahead.
But you never even stopped talking.
Go ahead.
Franchi Cordero has no place to play now that Duran is up. Kiki's hitting good, and Verdugo is better. I don't know what Franchi Cordero, I used to really like him. We both had a lot of, how long did we believe in Franchi? Me and you.
Oh, this is like our 6th year.
I think we gave him longer chance than anybody. Because you know
why? It could be our 6th year.
His buddy Fernando Tatis, he used to say what really got me to be a fan of Franchi. Tatis said that Franchi was a better runner than him, that he could run faster. And I think that might be true, but who knows? Because he never is healthy. So moving on.
Well, we'll see. Okay.
Ty Lore is his name. Okay.
Who?
Ty Lore.
All right, Tyler McGill. He's had some good starts lately. You think he's for real?
There's another. There's Ty Lore and his brother Trevor, who
I'm
pitches for the
talking about
Cubbies.
Ty Lore for the Mets.
There's another McGill named Tyler McGill, who spells his name with the McGill, who I got confused with this Tyler McGill. And I thought that the Seattle Mariners actually dropped this guy or DFA'd him like earlier in the season, just dropped him off of their roster. I'm like, if the Mariners are dropping you, that's pretty bad. And then he goes, of course, the Mets will pick up anybody. But no, that's not him. That is not the same guy. This guy's 25, and I absolutely like him, although nobody expected this out of him. Nobody expected this.
Jay Stubbs says that the Royals got the best of the deal, Cordero for Benintendi. You're right. All right.
For sure. There's no question there, the Royals. Hey, we might actually, I hope that we get to see a game this year in Kansas City. If not, we'll go next year.
We'll see. What about Trevor Story to the Yankees? We talked about that before.
Tyler McGill is absolutely worth picking up. And if he is not the first person on your list to pick up, if he's available, he needs to be moved there. He absolutely is the number one pitching pickup this week, if he's still available, which is chances are low, but Story to the Yankees? No, I already told you why. The Yankees are not going to do it. It's not a good fit for them, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely good fit. The question is, will the
Yankees?
Is it a good fit? Will they be contending enough to get Story?
They would have to go over the.
It's a rental. He's a rental.
He's not only a rental; he puts them over the threshold, and they need another player on top of that. And that would have to mean that they are really confident that they're going to make the playoffs. They're 8 games back, and there's no chance that they get Story.
Will the Phillies win the National League East as the legend predicts?
No, they won't. Nope.
Will Cairo Kaiboon was brought up by Washington. Will he stick at third base, or will they go ahead and get a third baseman like Chris Davis?
Chris Davis.
What Chris Davis? Chris Bryant. Come on. Chris Bryant, not Chris Davis.
Why are you yelling at me? I'm not the one that messed it up. You did.
Answer the question.
What's the question?
Will they stick with Kai Boom at third, or will they get Chris Bryant?
Okay, first of all, Kai Boom cannot hit right-handed pitchers, and he is not good in the majors, although he is very good in the minors. This is a problem for them. He's still very young. Obviously, they're not going to call him up and then just not let him play, so they have to figure out somewhere to let him play, right? I'm not picking him up. That's for sure. The Nationals, I think the Nationals have accepted the fact that they're not going to win this year. And now they're bringing up Kai Boom to give him another chance so that perhaps, just maybe, and they're hopefully, maybe they're marketing him and they hope that he can hit. Or they're trying to finally get him ready once again to open next season as the third baseman. But so far, no good for him. But he hits great in the minors. Just can't hit in the majors. I would say for fantasy purposes, I would rather have Jamer Candelario. I would rather have Austin Riley, Wilmer. I'll stop there.
Colombo in the chat room wants to know if you think Story might wind up in Cincinnati.
Why not?
Okay. Why not? Why not? Let's bring on Clairvoyant, who's absolutely better than Crystal Ball.
Lenny, I'm not a big fan of being like, what's the chances of so-and-so ending up on so-and-so.
Clairvoyant can answer it better.
He's a great fit for Cincinnati.
Good morning, Claire. How are you, Claire?
He's a much better.
Claire has a family here, too. Her son's name is Egg. All right?
Claire is not here. She's babysitting now.
And Eloy Jimenez is supposed to come back soon.
You ask me a question.
Will Eloy return as the star that we thought he was going to be?
Let me explain something to you, okay?
Please, explain.
Let me explain something to you. The Cincinnati Reds are a much better fit for Trevor Story than the Yankees, by far. There's no question about it. They are a much better fit for Trevor Story. Number one, they don't have a great shortstop. They absolutely need better defense. Number two, their ballpark is perfect for Trevor Story, and they have plenty of room under the umbrella to purchase him and make other moves. I would say that the chances of them adding to their team are much higher than the chances of them trading Luis Castillo away. Okay, with your brilliant idea.
Madison Bumgarner's pitching again. He may be traded to a
contender.
Not good.
He's not good.
You're not jumping on Madison Bumgarner at all.
No way.
Jose Ramirez, we talked about him being traded for a bundle.
He's not going anywhere unless somebody look. What they're asking for Jose Ramirez is 2 top 100 prospects, another player, and it's just not going to happen. They're not getting it.
Okay.
They're not going to trade him.
With all the trades Colorado was making, do you think Sam Hilliard will be put in the lineup in the second half?
Yeah, you can go ahead and put him on your team. And I will say that Sam Hilliard should not even be coming out of your mouth if you're in a mixed league. But if you're in an only league, I mean, good luck with that. No, he should not be rostered. He can't hit righties either. He can't hit right-handed pitching.
Next year, White Sox in the American League Central. Will Detroit be their main competition next year?
You remember when Hilliard was really good in spring training one year, and we all loved him.
Right.
Because they said we're gonna let him stay with the team because he's so good in the spring. And I remember being at a draft that day. Remember that draft we did in the city, at the restaurant, with Adam Ronis and all those guys. Like,
yes, right.
Okay, that was the year of Hilliard, and we heard the news at the draft. I just remember how high he was drafted, so high. I can't remember, but it was a mistake. Go on. What's your question?
Will Whit Merrifield get traded? The Yankees are interested. The Mets are interested. Those are the 2 top teams. Will he be traded?
It's the same old story. If they get a huge offer, they might trade him. But other than that, I do not see that. And of course, everybody says that he could be a good fit for the Yankees. Everybody's a good fit for the Yankees.
Okay. All right. We've heard this before. We got a couple more for Crystal Ball. Then we'll get on to the American League.
Story before.
Will the Dodgers get a closer? Will they go with Blake Trinan? Or do you think Kelly Jansen has the job for himself?
Kenley Jansen has had the job and still has the job, and he's going to have the job. Even if he messes up, he's still going to have the job. They have plenty of bullpen. They definitely are not going to be acquiring one of these closers that are on the market. Detroit, what about Detroit? What do you think? They could come in second in the Central next year.
Malpal says Sam Hilliard and Franchi Cordero. Never seen it are the same person.
Except for Sam Hilliard can play a lot more positions. And if you ask Lenny, he would say that the whole position thing is what hurt Sam Hilliard. And I say that's a bull dinky poppycock excuse.
Okay, couple more real quick. Byron Buxton, will he return as a star?
Bull dinky, poppycock, bull dinky, and poppycock.
Jason Lamet for next year?
Denelson
Lamet.
Hold on, what was the first question? The guy
I asked you about Buxton, but you're not paying attention.
Buxton is a star, and when he's healthy, he's always going to be a star. And if he does get to come back this year, which I don't even know for sure that he will because he's got a fractured bone in his hand, I would love it. It would be the best thing that happened to my teams. But he probably isn't. When he does come back, he's a star. Always. Don't forget it. What's
Denelson Lamet next year? Yes or no?
I'm done with Denelson Lamet. I didn't even want to get on the Denelson Lamet bandwagon to begin with. Okay, I accidentally got him on my team last year for $10, and then after that he did so good. Then I was hooked. Now I'm not hooked anymore because he is absolutely not reliable.
Kyle Tucker, he was a 3rd-round pick this year.
Why wouldn't he be next year? Because he's better.
Will he be a 3rd-round pick next year or better?
Kyle Tucker is better than he was last year. So anybody that was willing to draft him in the 3rd round is going to be willing to draft him in the 2nd round. He's better than he was in every aspect. Kyle Tucker has improved his strikeout rate. He's improved his walk rate. He's improved his contact rate. He's improved everything. So why wouldn't you? If you're Kyle Tucker, you don't like him.
Finally, in the offseason, if Brandon Marsh produces, Joey Adele gets called up, even if the team does this signal,
who came up with this idea?
Does this signal a possible trade of Mike Trout?
Did you come up with this question on your own?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. At least I don't have to dog on any writers right now because do you know how much money that Mike Trout is owed?
No, I don't.
He's actually getting paid through 2020 or 2030, I want to say.
Right.
Let me pull him up real quick.
You pull them up.
Well, I'm going to, and I'm going to tell you because
you're supposed to know this stuff.
I put it in my notes. You're going out of order, so there's that.
There's no out of order. That's the last question.
Okay. Oh yes. Okay. So let me tell. No, there's one more after that, which is Olsen or Chapman. And
who'd you rather have? Olsen.
So Trout gets paid $35.5 million per year through 2030 with the no trade clause. He gets all kinds of benefits. He gets $50,000 if he's an all-star MVP. He gets $100,000 if he's a gold glove. If he's a silver slugger, he gets $500,000 if he's the MVP of the American League. He's not going anywhere. Like, they could seriously $35.5 million. Who could even afford that? He's still owed $300 million.
Okay,
Okay,
Crystal
now
Ball.
Chapman.
Thank you. All right, Chapman or Olsen?
Well, what do you think?
I think I want to get onto the game so we could finish up. Okay, can't
I
stay
want to
here
know
all
who
day.
you like, Matt Chapman or Matt.
I like Olsen.
You have to like Olsen because
Okay.
he is better in every single statistic there is.
Thank you.
Thank
you, Crystal Ball. It was
Goodbye.
fantastic having you.
Okay, good.
Fantastic.
Go on to the games. Have fun with that. See you later.
All right. Let's bring on the Roto Lady. Good morning.
The Roto Lady doesn't like you.
All right. Who does? Clairvoyant?
The Crystal Ball likes you.
All right. Crystal Ball. Yankees and the Red Sox. Okay. Jameson Taillon and Nate Eovaldi. Very rare to see two-time Tommy John guys go against each other. Maybe the first time that two-time Tommy John guys actually went against each other. So.
Well, I gotta give Taillon some credit, okay? And I'm a big fan of his, but he hasn't. He's great against the Red Sox. Remember that for the next time they get matched up again. The Red Sox, when he faces the Red Sox, his ERA is like 2-something. And when anybody else faces the Red Sox, their ERA is like 4-something on the Yankees. So seriously, he's been doing good lately. He's definitely not good enough to get him through the playoffs, but he doesn't. I really like what I'm seeing from him. He's starting to really get things going. Maybe next year for Jameson Taillon.
Gleyber Torres had a go-ahead bloop single. The Yankees got their third victory in 12 games against the Red Sox. The Red Sox, who'd won 4 in a row.
Is that a positive thing, what you just said?
No, it's just information. They put runners on second and third, 2 outs, and then Aroldis Chapman struck out Kiki Hernandez for his 18th save.
I would be scared if I went up to the plate and Aroldis Chapman was pitching at me. He is so scary.
Right.
He looks scary.
Well,
he's
remember,
big, huge.
You don't know Ryan Duran, right? We've talked about this before. Former Yankee relief pitcher Ryan Duran would come in with these spectacle glasses, and it was in a day where if you threw 95, it was unbelievable. His windup was he was a closer. He would his glove and ball would go high over his head. He'd come down to his chest. He'd rear back. He'd fire. His first pitch was always into the screen as an intimidation factor, just like King Happ intimidates people.
Okay, well, so, I remember when Jonathan Papelbon tried to look scary, and he tried to look scary, but he just wasn't at that point when what a loser. But Kimbrel looks a little scary too when he's up there, but these, there's one other closer that has a really interesting delivery, and I can't remember who it is.
Well, that's
Gregory
good information.
Soto, or I want to say it's a Baltimore closer, or maybe it's
or maybe it's what?
I know that Luis Garcia for the Houston Astros has a very interesting delivery. He's not a closer, but he pitches. He could really throw you off. Have you seen him pitch?
No.
That's because you're not smart.
Jameson Taillon gave up 3 runs, only 1 earned in 7 innings. You like Taillon for the second half?
Apparently, you didn't listen to a word I just said about Taillon.
No, I did not. I did not.
Well, this chat room already heard what I have to say about him.
Eovaldi struck out 8, charged with 2 runs. He didn't issue a walk. 82 of his 100 pitches were for strikes.
Eovaldi, dude, he's an accident waiting to happen, though, right? He's an accident waiting to happen, dude. Okay, do you not think so? Do you think he's going to get 200 innings this year? Talk about San Francisco getting ready to blow up. I will say Eovaldi is on the verge. He's already pitched more innings than he's pitched since 2016. Okay, I'm happy for him. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for him. He's pitching really good, but they're going to have to give him a break coming up here soon. And, they're going to have some serious problems in Boston if they do not invest in another pitcher. They have Tanner Houck, who I think should be on everybody's radar. If he could start getting his innings up in games, he would be an excellent add to your fantasy team. He's really still stretching out or whatever. He's just not that experienced. He doesn't strike out that many guys, but he is very efficient. And I mean, you're talking about a rotation that has guys like Garrett Richards, Nick Pivetta, Martin Perez, I mean, I've said this to begin the season, so I was wrong then, and I could be wrong now, but Eovaldi is an injury risk galore. You should trade him if you have him. You should trade him.
A lot of people critical of DJ LeMahieu not having a great year, 1 for 5 with a double.
He's horrible.
Horrible. He extended his consecutive on-base streak to 34 games.
So what? You drafted him in the second round. He's horrible for what you paid for him.
He gets on base every game, the longest single season streak since Derek Jeter. Gary Sanchez left Friday's game with mild back spasms.
Okay, no surprise. But did he hit? Well, hold on a minute. He hit a homer yesterday.
Yeah, he's supposed to be back in the starting lineup today.
He was in yesterday because he hit a home run.
Oh, he did? He was in there yesterday as a regular player?
Yeah, he was part of this 4-run inning that they had, starting with clutch guy Brett Gardner.
Right.
That they only signed because they felt like they owed it to him, which they did.
Severino threw 38 pitches. He may throw a simulated game. What do you think of that?
I love it. I hope that he comes back, but I'm not getting my hopes up.
Gio
I'm keeping an eye on him, though, dude. For sure.
Urshela could be activated today. And what about Aaron Judge?
Urshela's been out twice this year with COVID.
Unbelievable.
And vaccinated.
Eduardo Rodriguez left to start. He was feeling better. Feeling better.
I do worry about him.
Migraine headaches.
Dude, that's not good. This is the one player in baseball that actually had a really hard bout with COVID. This is the one player that I know of, the one athlete that I know of that actually had like some serious complications. He had heart issues from COVID, and he has not, it was nice to see him come back and do well. He didn't do that great to start the season, but he's been good. The other day, he just crouched down on the mound and he had a horrible migraine, which is a sign. It is a symptom of your swollen heart problem. I don't know. I just worry for him. I hope he's better. I will definitely pray for him.
That's right. Mad Hungarian, they're talking about in the chat room. And anyway, Chris Sale making his second start in Double-A Portland. So he's on his way, right?
That's Portland, Maine.
Yeah, whatever it is, okay? Cleveland and Tampa, the Cleveland Guardians, the name will go into effect after the 2021 season. And I know you have a lot to say about that. But
I really don't have anything to say about it. I would like to be able to keep I would like to keep, I don't know. I'm good with I'll play, when we leave today, I will play the Vic DiBitetto video, and it's very good. It talks about how we can fix the names of these teams so they're not offensive and still keep the names. Just change the logo, basically, for most of these teams. We just change the logo, and it's not offensive to anybody, but it's still the fans, because
Sanchez didn't play yesterday.
When you got a team like the Washington football team, that's been the Washington football team now for, I don't know, over a year. Like, what is so hard that you can't name your team?
By the way, Sanchez did not play yesterday, according to Captain 15.
Oh, maybe not. So I thought I saw him. I don't know, man, if I believe that.
You don't know. All right. Anyway, trade opinion. King Hap has a trade. Chris Sale and Christian Vasquez and for CJ Cron and a 10th round pick. Absolutely make the risk.
Wait a minute. Tell me this trade again.
Chris Sale, Christian Vasquez for a 20th and 28th round pick in exchange. Yeah.
That's what you get?
For CJ Cron and a 10th round pick.
Oh, so you get Sale, Vasquez, and a 20th pick.
2 late round picks for CJ Cron and a 10th round pick. Absolutely do it.
I'm taking the Sale side for sure. The Sale
side.
There's no question.
Tampa moved into first place tie with Boston. They have not lost to the Indians since 2019.
Could have sworn Sanchez hit a home run yesterday, but apparently he did not.
Choi, Phillips, Meadows, all homered. Okay. What's wrong? You're thinking we starting to
I was wrong.
Things?
I'm just telling you. I was wrong with this Sanchez. So he was not in there yesterday. I wonder what I was watching.
Bradley Zimmer had 2 of the Indians' 5 hits. He made a nice catch. And Nelson Cruz 0 for 5 in his second game since being traded.
So nobody hit a home run yesterday. Gary Sanchez did not play yesterday. That is definitely important, and it makes me wonder how many other lies I told today.
Right. Okay.
How many other lies do you think I told today?
I have no idea. You're giving up the 10th pick is fine.
You always have to research for yourself.
Yeah. Jordan Luplow batting 300. in rehab. Ryan Yarborough goes today against Tristan McKenzie.
I'm
How
taking
about
Tristan McKenzie.
okay, Detroit against Kansas City. We saw Perez and Santana hit 3-run home. Perez 23rd home run. Okay, how about that one?
Perez?
Yeah, Salvatore.
Salvador, the catcher.
The catcher, yes.
Very good. One of the better catchers and probably the best, right? He's the best.
I think so.
Unless you're going for on-base percentage, right?
Right.
And then you got Mr. Oh, forget it. Yasmani. Is that who it is? Who's the one getting on base?
Yeah, Yasmani Grandal, who's hurt right now.
Okay, well, I'm telling you that Pedro is probably, I don't know. I just am lying all the time, dude.
A Candelaria hit a 3-run homer.
Candelario, that's who you pick up instead of your boy Sierra.
Gave Casey Mize a comfortable lead. Mize struck out 6 and 4 and 2/3, and Al Keel Badu hit a 2-run homer in the ninth homer. 4th home run in his last 11 games. Badu is
I love
back.
I love the Detroit Tigers and what they're doing. They're going to be good next year. I believe it.
Tarek Skubal will go against Daniel Lynch today.
Who's that? Who's Lynch? I don't know who that is.
I'm not sure who he is. He's 0-2 with got a huge ERA. That's the only thing I know. The Twins and the Angels. How many people took my advice on Patrick Sandoval? Okay,
I did, and I hated it.
How many?
Me.
Okay.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
And guess what? He might have got me out of. Hey, man, Patrick Sandoval. I'm so lucky that there was nobody else to pick up at the time, because he struggled a couple times, and the Angels just aren't going anywhere. They have defensive problems, pitching problems. Patrick Sandoval was like mid-4 ERA guy. I picked him up because you recommended him, and then I was annoyed at you, and I said I was constantly looking for someone to replace him with. I was trying to pawn him off on the trade. A couple different leagues I was trying to pawn off him. I'm so glad I kept him because he might have just moved me up, single-handedly moved me up a notch yesterday with that no into the 9th inning.
Only DeGrom, Glasnow, Bieber, Corbin Burns have more swing and misses than Sandoval.
Sandoval.
Missed out on a no-hitter, but still pitched the best game of his career. No question about it. 24 years old.
No into the 9th. I know that.
Right. So I'll tell you what, Sandoval really did good. Raciel Iglesias, who could be traded, allowed an RBI double to Josh Donaldson before getting his 21st save and 25 chances.
Why would he get traded?
Iglesias? Because many teams need a closer.
Okay.
Many. Every contender needs a closer. Everyone.
That's true. But not every team has a closer like him. And he is a free agent after this year.
Yeah, they'll trade him.
He's no doubt about it. Okay,
no doubt
probably
about
true.
it.
That's probably true, Leonard. Good
Berrios, 2 unearned runs in 7 innings.
I love Berrios.
Might be his final start.
It's not. They're not trading him unless they get a lot for him, and they're not getting a lot for him. The Twins think they can contend next year. So they are traded. They're definitely sellers right now, but I doubt they sell Berrios. Berrios, though, is they said they would really like to extend. He said he's been waiting, just like every other Major League Baseball player. They wait like 6 or 7 years until they're finally able to test the market, and I think that's what he's looking forward to doing. I do not think that they're going to get it to trade him because he will. What about the qualifying offer with him? He's actually 15 months away from being a free agent.
Yeah, he's not a free agent. Well, they could get a lot for him because he's not a rental. Right? Not a rental.
But they think that they're going to. Well, it's like Cincinnati trading Luis Castillo. It's not going to happen.
Shohei Ohtani has quieted down just a bit, but he doubled, came around on an error by Sano. You think Shohei's on the down cycle now?
I think that I like Shohei Ohtani. I'm on the bandwagon big time, but I do not believe that it's reasonable to think that he's going to do going forward what he did or even come close to what he did in the first half. First, because they're not going to contend, the Angels. Number 2, they really need to rest him. He's basically like a one-man wrecking ball on that team. He's the only player. He pitches 6 scoreless innings, and then he goes and hits doubles and scores runs. It's crazy. Yes, I think he's not going to – I think you should have traded him at the second half. But I have to say that in this one of our second half leagues, I drafted him first round. I drafted him, and I'm really liking him. I love him on my team right now. He's very great. I could put him as a hitter on the days that he doesn't pitch. Then I could move him over to the pitcher. I mean, I've never had him on my team yet, so it's a nice experience. I like him. I think he's going to cool down.
Something very exciting for you right now.
What, Ohtani?
Byron Buxton played catch.
I know he did, but he
hasn't.
Field. I know, but he hasn't gripped he's not gripping. He's got a broken hand.
Yep, that's right.
He's not throwing. He's catching, but he's not throwing.
Left hand fracture.
I don't know what he does with the balls when he catches them.
Jaime Barria is going to be recalled to start Sunday. Jaime Barria, Baria. He's going to go. What? Yeah. That's not right?
It's right. I don't think that I recommend him to pick
He's going to go. I'm just telling you. He's going against Bailey Ober, right? If you're.
He could be
look. Yeah, you can pick him up if you need strikeouts. If that's what you need, and maybe a win, you pick him up. Okay, but he's not pitching today, is he? I don't know. I'm
just telling you some pickups. I'm throwing in pickups because
I'm talking about for today, the end of the week. You need strikeouts to win the week. You pick them up. There you go.
If you could pick up a pitcher and he can go today, then you're playing at Yahoo. Okay. Hunter Dozier, too, by the way. He hasn't hit any homers yet, but Hunter Dozier is hitting doubles like crazy, and he's batting. I mean, this is not going to keep up with him, but it really is a big change from what he was doing at the beginning of the season. And I know you were a fan of him going into the season. I will say the last 7 games, Hunter Dozier has 2 doubles, a triple, 11 hits, 23 at bats, 478 batting average. And I'm telling you, he's walking and he might be warming up. So you could maybe in waiver pickups today.
To answer Johnny Garofalo's question, yes, Marshall and Torres are definitely players who will continue to play.
I can't wait for John to come here because I found the best ice cream. It's the best Brooklyn ice cream, and it is the best ice cream I've ever had. I would love to buy John some ice cream.
Jared Kalenic scored the winning run on a Lou Trevino's wild pitch in the bottom of the 9th. And
Seattle.
Mitch Haniger homered twice. What do you think? You think certainly if the Mariners stay in contention, they got to hold on to Haniger. But they got so many good young outfielders. If they fall out of contention, Mariners are going to trade Haniger. You agree?
Absolutely, but they're not falling out of its contention. And I am absolutely big fan of what they're doing. They are 6-4 in the last 10. They've won 2 in a row. They are not trading Haniger. They are going to add to their team, which is exactly what they need to do. Add to their team. I mean, I'm glad that Kalenic, I'm glad he hit clutch yesterday. I just, there's a lot of youngsters on this team. I just think, you know what, you have an opportunity right now to go for it, and don't think. I mean, they didn't enter the season thinking that they would be 2.5 games out of the wild card at this moment in time. I mean, they are 4.5 games ahead of the Angels. They're they're really right there, man. If Yankees or Red Sox, if they falter, or Tampa Bay, they start losing games, Seattle is in. And I have to say, I hope they are buyers. I think they will be. DePoto likes to deal, but he needs to be buying right now.
The most amazing thing about everything is so many people in the chat room who have stayed with us for 2 hours. Answer your phone.
That's my
mom.
Tell
her to call you back. Haniger his 25th home run. All right. Hey,
Mom. Hi, Mom. I'm doing a show. You're on air.
I'll call you back. Okay.
Oh, no, I'll call later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
That was good. You don't put her on the air. Kendall
Why not?
Graven.
Wait a minute. I learned that from you.
I'm not putting your mother on the air. Kendall Graven.
You would put anybody on the air. You would put the freaking telemarketer from Pakistan on the phone.
That's a lot different. I wouldn't put King Hap on the air. That's for sure.
Why not?
Kendall Graven pitches ninth for the win. Oh, by the way.
You need to be nice to King Hap. I'm not kidding around. You need to be nice
to Boyle.
him.
What time is Doug Boyle coming on today?
I don't know, but I'm sick of you not being nice to King Hap.
And we got the Roto Imbeciles tonight at 6:30.
Douglas comes on at 1 or noon.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, maybe.
That's pretty good. Okay?
I love Sundays. It's very fun for me.
So we have a lot of great shows here.
I'm going to the thrift
Texas
store.
and Houston. Framber Valdez struggled to find the zone early, forced to leave the game without giving up a hit, and then the Astros bullpen took over and did a good job. Texas Rangers, 11th straight loss. Unbelievable.
Nothing new over here with the Rangers. They're not a good team. They have Gallo. They appreciate him. It's unfortunate for them because they're not close to winning. I don't know why they're never close to winning. Ever since Nolan Ryan left being part of that team in the upper management, now they haven't contended since. Not one time have they even competed over there in Texas.
There have been 7 no-hitters in the majors this year. Okay,
Yes.
that's one short of the record, the big league
It's been
record.
a long time since one.
Yeah, 1984.
No, I'm talking about
1884. We had the record. Yeah, it's been a long time. Okay.
No, it's been a long time this year since the last one. We had a whole bunch of them quickly, and it's been maybe 2 months since we had a no-hitter now.
Okay,
Maybe.
Thanks to Big Al, who has to run. Valdez struggled with his command,
Big Al,
but he did pretty good. Kyle, whoa, sorry about that.
Seriously,
Kyle Gibson was done in. He walked a career high 8.
Kyle Gibson is trying. Some people are trying to compare Kyle Gibson to Kevin Gausman, and I say that's bulldinky.
Well, he's having a great year. Okay.
Yeah, I know he's pitching above his head though. So when he starts to cool off, don't be surprised.
Alex Bregman strained with the straight left quad, starting rehab. Alex Bregman.
Whoop-de-doo.
Zach Greinke will start for Houston, and away we go.
I'm taking Greinke today and Sonny Gray. Those are my 2 pitchers for DFS.
New York Mets, 4-game lead for 76 days. Springer, Semien, Bichette, homered.
And an owner that's ready to buy.
Oh, he'll be spending money. Trevor Richards got the win. Springer, a free agent. He was moved to the middle of the lineup.
George Springer?
Yeah.
He's not a free agent.
I didn't say he was.
Who did you say was a free agent?
I said he was a free agent, target of the Mets. Okay.
Well, he's on Toronto now, so
that's right. Hyun-Shin Ryu, 3 runs, 10 hits. My battery's running out.
Bichette. Good. It's about time. I'm so tired of you.
So you do the rest of the show. Bichette extended the lead to 7-3, 17th home run. Jeff McNeil missed the 2nd straight game. He's having an awful season.
Oh, I just lost Leonard. Wait, Leonard, you're not here. Hold on a minute. I gotta go. I'll go put him back on for a second. Maybe. I think I will. But here's what I'm going to do for you guys right now. I'm going to play this video for you because I think it's great fun. Let me do this. Put this on while I go and hook up Lenny again. If you want to stay, that's great. We're going to share the audio, and we are going to use this one. We're going to learn about how to change the team names. So, do I have it here? Let's play it.
Hey, what do you hear? What do you say? My Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus, your sister's ass, the Pony Express, Vic.
There might be some language, but
lately
it's not bad.
I've been thinking about the whole sports teams and Native Americans issues. I feel badly for everyone, the Native Americans and the fans of the teams. But I think I came up with an idea so that all these pro sports teams don't have to change their names and they won't be offensive to Native Americans. I'm pretty excited about it. I've been giving this a lot of thought lately because it really bothers me that the Washington football team has to call themselves the Washington football team. It just feels incomplete. You know, it's like there's something missing. Like the fans need to have a name to call them. Most other teams in all of sports have a name that isn't offensive to go with their state or city. And since Cleveland just announced they will be changing the name of the Indians too, I figured maybe there's something we can do so these names aren't being offensive to Native Americans and the fans get to have their team name back. Follow me. Let's talk about the Washington Redskins first. Here's the simple fix. You can still call them the Redskins, but now it's a reference to the potato that is called a Redskin. Honestly, it's that simple. All we have to do is take the current logo and change it to a Redskin potato. And you can leave the feather on it because it's just a potato with a feather. Now the announcers and fans and everyone can go back to calling Washington the Skins or the Redskins because this is no longer insulting to Native Americans because this is no longer about Native Americans. Washington has to technically root for a potato, but they can have fun with this, and they can come up with fun ways to deal with it. They called their offensive line the Hogs, right? They called their receivers the Fun Bunch. So now they can call a team a sack of potatoes. Okay. How about the Cleveland Indians? Okay, this is a tough one. But if we simply change it to the Cleveland Himdians, H-I-M, the Himdians, then it sounds really close to the old name, but it's a reference to some sort of fictitious male human being, a Himdian. You can keep the face they used. All we have to do is remove the feather and maybe add a fez. And see? Now it's just a funny looking guy with a big smile wearing a fez. He's now a Himdian. Okay, the Chicago Blackhawks is easy too. The Atlanta Hawks in the NBA use a bird as their team name. Well, Chicago is the Blackhawks. So just get rid of the Native American logo and make the logo a hawk, except it's black. Blackhawk. Now the Chicago Blackhawks are a bird and not a reference to some Native American tribe from that region. This is so simple, people. The Atlanta Braves can stay the Braves, but the logo is now someone who's brave, not a Native American. So it's not about Native Americans, but about Americans who live in the home of the brave, which makes them brave. We are all brave. It's not about Native Americans. It's just about Americans who live in America, which is the home of the brave. For the Kansas City Chiefs, this is really simple. Seriously, all you have to do is change out the logo with a headshot of Edward Platt. You know who that is? He played the Chief on the TV show Get Smart. So now the Kansas City Chiefs stayed the Chiefs, but the reference is the Chief from Get Smart. And they can call the locker room the cone of silence and do other fun things to play off the new logo reference. They can change the mascot to Jaime, the robot. Come on, this is easy if we just keep an open mind. I'm a problem solver. You got a problem? I got a solution. Look, these might not be ideal solutions, but you got to admit, they do give these cities and their fans a chance to keep the original name. It's just the logo that changes. And people might embrace potatoes and blackbirds. I mean, having no name is really weird and sad in a way. I don't want to have fans to have to call their beloved teams the Washington football team or the Cleveland baseball team. I want the fans to be able to say the Redskins or the Himdians. Well, okay, Himdians is a little bit of a stretch, but you got a better idea.
Okay, you guys, so that's it. Lenny's phone is dying. But thank you so much for hanging out today. And of course, we'll see you next Sunday. Lenny's very annoyed that he can't say bye to everybody in the chat room, so I will do this. He made sure to tell me to do this properly. I will say goodbye to Dennis Timko, Aiden, Anthony D.B. Miller, Captain 15, Douglas Boyle, Eddie Heckman, Jay Stubbs, Jim K, Mr. Hap, King Hapster, Dechiara. I don't know. You'll have to tell me how to pronounce your name. I'm not really sure yet, but maybe that's Laura. Maybe. Thanks for coming, Laura. Lenny, Stardog, guest Luis, guest Thomas, and Malpal was here too at some point. He's gone, but everybody have a great day. It's Sunday. Douglas will be on in about an hour or two, and then at 6:30 is the Roto Imbeciles, and then we start all over. And by the way, Monday, tomorrow, baseball starts early, so make sure you have all your lineups ready before game time. And I think it's going to, because I did see a commercial for daytime baseball on Monday. That's important. Get your fantasy lineups situated before then. And that's it. Have a good one.